Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel and welcome to another Some Assemblage Required video, which means I'm going to be using some Assemblage Required products in my video. And if you decide you want to purchase any of them, I will have links down below for you so you can go and check that out. I'm also participating in Mixed Media Mayhem and Follow a Sketch February. This is the sketch we're using from Studio Tech Trek. And that is brought to you from Scrapping Reflections. Sandy, otherwise known as State Goddess, has been doing Follow a Sketch February for a few years now, and I'm joining in where I can. And today's Mixed Media Mayhem allows me to go ahead and use that sketch. I'm kind of doing it the opposite. They've got their mixed media right in the center, and I am going to have my mixed media on the two outside areas, and that central band will be my patterned paper. And for Mixed Media Mayhem, we are supposed to be using paint, which is what I'm using currently, and that is from Deco Art. I've had it in my stash for quite some time. I believe I got it at a class that I did with Deco Art ages ago. Probably a decade ago. So it's been around for quite a while. I will be holding up the colors in a bit, but I'm not sure that they're even available or anything like that. The stencil that I'm using is from Stamperia, and I know that it is, I don't think it's available either. If it is, it's only from, it was hard for me to find online. So if I can find the link for it still, I will put it down below. If not, I am so sorry that it is not available. But I am just using a stippling technique, so tapping my paintbrush into the paint and tapping it over my stencil. Somewhat dry, not really juicy, because I don't want that paint to get squished underneath the stencil and create a mess. And I'm okay with it not being 100% good coverage, because that is kind of the nature of mixed media. And yes, I did just make a kind of a mess with my stencil because I set it in my paint up in the upper right hand corner there, and then I put it on my paper. But it's okay, it's not going to be super noticeable. I'm covering a lot of it with that big splat that's in the stencil, so it's not a big deal at all. The other things we're supposed to use are texture, so I will be pulling out a little bit of texture paste here in the form of paper glaze from Picket Fence Studio, and I'm going to be using it in the Artemisia, which I know I'm butchering the name, silver. Anyway, I will be holding that up here in just a few moments for you also, so you can get the name of it and find that online if that's something you're interested in. But I will try to remember to put the link for it below also. So there it is. I love paper glaze because it dries really quickly, and it goes on really smooth. It's very buttery. So that's one of my favorite mixed media products to use, and especially in this silver. I think it's super cool. Okay, this just calls for repositioning my stencil a bit, and I'm again not going over this in full coverage because I don't want the entire thing to be silver. I just want to give a little bit of dimension, and since I did use kind of like that gray color of paint, I think it's going to match really well and work very well for the photos that I'm using. The photos that I am using are a continuation of the day that we did our scouting transportation day, and we took the Cub Scouts from our area all the way to San Francisco. We took a train, a trolley, not a taxi, a ferry, and there was one other thing we took, and I cannot remember the name of it right off the top of my head. Sorry, I'm voicing this kind of late at night, and yeah, I'm kind of forgetful at this point of this time of the day. I am using a little bit of, I think I've pulled out, I think it's just black soot, you guys. I'm just using a little bit of black soot because that is my black brush that I'm using. I have a gray brush for the gray, so a little bit of black soot to kind of grunge up my paper a little bit, and then I'm going to use this patterned paper, which is actually from the solids pack, because this side that you're seeing right here looks like a solid, even though the other side is not, and it's not really truly a solid. It still has some texture to it, but it is from 49 and Market, and it is from their nature study collection. So I have pulled that out. The photos are leftovers from when we did Kit Conspiracy over in November, and I was using a lot of the Everywhere collection from 49 and Market, and so I'm just continuing on using them. I have a few more in this series that I want to use up, and I am using, like I said, some nature study and maybe a little bit of Everywhere as I am kind of figuring out what I want to put on this page. I do end up using more dimensional acrylic pieces from MK's shop, some assemblage required, than I do the ephemera from either one of these collections, actually. And the timing is great right now also because she is having a sale for her 3rd anniversary. So she's having a 30% off of everything in the store, which includes the pieces that I'll be using that are still in stock. And it also includes our next round of Kit Conspiracy, as far as I know. She's got those for pre-order. And I know we've got a collection from Photoplay, one from Simple Stories, one from 49 and Market, and one from Pretty Little Studio. And so if you're someone who likes to play along with us with Kit Conspiracy, now would be a really great time to probably go and buy that, because I think her thing said everything was on sale. I didn't go and check with her, but I'm going by what her advertisement said. So go and check that out. But I'm going to use some gears. What I'm documenting here is actually the battery on Angel Island. We did take a ferry out that day. I know I'm kind of skipping around on everything that I'm talking about, you guys. I apologize. But we took a ferry across the bay out to Angel Island, and we hiked around out there. We did a geocache. We checked out the battery. We checked out the old hospital, or what they used as a hospital out there. And several of the other things that they had going on. But these are pictures from kind of afar with the kids and some of the scout leaders looking at the old battery remains. It's not all intact or anything like that, but it's kind of cool. There's also a picture of the placard there that says what it's about, and it's all about defending the bay. And so I thought I'd go ahead and capture that, and I am using up some of my thickers to just use the word battery as my title. And I believe this is actually I think it's called Ledyard, Ledyard battery, if I remember correctly. And I can't really read it on the screen right there, and I don't have it in front of me, so my apologies for that. But I believe that's what it's called, the Ledyard battery. Holy moly, I really can't talk tonight. But it's kind of cool. There's a kind of, I don't know, the kids always love climbing around on these kind of things and checking it out and looking at all the old military installations and stuff. So this was definitely right up their alley, checking all of that out and learning more about it. And obviously I didn't learn anything because I can't tell you a whole lot more about it at this moment in time. It's definitely up there in my brain, but my file retrieval system is very slow. So probably about 4 o'clock in the morning, I'll remember what it is. That seems to be the way things work these days. Anyway, I am using a variety of acrylic pieces from MK's shop. This large one that I have right now, I am actually going to take my Fisker's blade and I'm going to cut it because I don't want it quite so wide and I want to split it into 2 pieces. So to cut it, I am just pressing really hard in a couple of these spots where it's only connected by a little tiny sliver, and that's going to allow me to kind of snap it apart so I don't have to kind of saw on it and I don't have to bend it or anything like that. And there it is in 2 pieces. And then I'm going to go ahead and start tucking in these other gears that I have. So I have multiple packs of gears here. These were from her June 2023 release. Some of them are still available in the shop. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in the description box down below so you can go and check that out if that's of interest to you. And then I'm just trying to figure out exactly what else I'm going to do on here. And it turns out I don't do a lot. I just kind of leave it, you guys. There's not a lot really that I need to do. Some pages just don't need as much as others, in my opinion. And this is one of those pages. I've got lots of gears going on. I'm not going to leave all of the gears as layers like they are off to the left-hand side there. I'm going to kind of split them out and kind of get them a little bit more neat and orderly because that's just how my brain works. And then I did use some of the film strips. This film strip is actually from one of the monthly embellishment boxes that MK puts out. Each month there's either tickets or film strips or postage stamps. There's a variety of different things, and it's just a random sampling from 49 and Market, so that you're not buying a huge pack of postage stamps or a huge pack of tickets. So I think that that's where the smaller film strip is from that has battery written on it. The other two were actually out of her advent calendar that she did in December. So you can go and check out the monthly boxes. The advent calendar is no longer there, but if you are interested in that for next year, put it on your calendar. Black Friday, or just, I think she released it before Black Friday. So yeah, put it on your calendar to look for it in November timeframe. I am going to trim down this paper. I did trim the entire background down to be about a 1/4 of an inch smaller so that I'd have an 1/8 of an inch reveal on all of the sides with that black. I really like the black kind of framing it, especially with all of the other black that I've got going on with these film strips. And so I'm just trimming down this top piece to kind of go over it and not cover up that black. I really wanted that to show. And then I'm going to glue all of these pieces down. I kind of use a mix of glue dots and some liquid glue to hold everything in place. The glue dots really do the best work, but the liquid glue does kind of help as well. And I find that the Nouveau Deluxe adhesive so far has been my favorite liquid glue. It comes out super fine. It doesn't usually clog, especially if you leave it laying on its side. I think if you stand it up, it would clog because it gets more air in the nozzle. But if it's down on its side like this, it doesn't clog and it doesn't really drip. If it's dripping out of the tip of yours, pop the tip off. All you have to do is kind of push it sideways and it will pop right out, and kind of let the pressure out of it. I think that is a big thing. It gets, especially if you're at altitude, the pressure will cause it to kind of ooze out the nozzle. But if you pop the top off and you know, let that pressure out, you're not going to have that problem. I am just removing the backer off of these acrylic pieces. They have the backer from when they are cut in the machine. And so I just peel that off, and then I am using, like I said, the glue dots to go ahead and adhere that down. In some of the really narrow areas, I will use liquid glue. And I really like how this ends up looking with all of that. While I go ahead and glue these down, don't forget to go check out everyone playing along with Follow Sketch February. There's a playlist down below for that. And there will also be a playlist down below for Mixed Media Mayhem. We hadn't been doing a playlist for a while, and that is new. You can also go to the Mixed Media Mayhem Facebook group and check out the inspiration that is in the albums. If you go to the albums section, you'll see the upcoming inspiration for the next few weeks, and you can play along there if you would like. And that is it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it wasn't super involved, but I do appreciate the time you take to spend with me. If you enjoyed it, hit that thumbs up button and consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.